welcome, madam. Well, welcome to the Poetry Reading with Fat Brains, a place where poets meet to share their minds. Why do we write poetry? Sometimes I feel like I think do we write for ourselves? Do we write for others? Do you write to get accolades or to kind of comments or whatever kind of appreciation? Or do we write for the contentment that we derive? Anyways, that are some questions that lingering on in the mind, but let us go begin our reading. We will have single poem from each one of you. Please cooperate. We'll have a short one today. Last week we didn't have the program. Let's begin with Dr. Gopal Pudhani, who is a veteran army.
You can't hear? You can't hear?
Please
I can hear, can't see.
Gopal Pudhani.
Yourself, ना?
नमस्कार प्रसन्ना साहब, मैं अपने सब कवियों को और सबको आदर प्रणाम करता हूं, और अगर मुझे इजाजत दें तो मैं अपनी कविता शुरू करूं। प्रसन्ना साहब, am I audible?
Sir, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
मैंने पिछले कई महीनों से आजकल के टॉपिक पर, जो कि दहशतगर्दी के अगेंस्ट है, उसके ऊपर लिखा है। आज जो मैंने पोएम लिखी है वो भी उसी के ऊपर है, और आर्मी लहजे में है, फौजी लहजे में है। तो इस करके मैं आपसे इजाजत लेता हुआ आपका ही एक साथी आपसे अनुरोध करता हूं कि मेरी पहली दो लाइनें, दो सत्रें मेरी जिम्मेदारी दर्शाती हैं कि मैं क्या करना, मैं कौन हूं। तो मैंने लिखा है कि मैं इंसानियत के साथ खड़ा हूं, हर सूरत में, हर हाल में मुंह तोड़ कहर बन जाऊंगा उग्रवाद के जवाब में। मुंह तोड़ कहर बन जाऊंगा उग्रवाद के जवाब में। ये तो है मेरी सोच, मेरी जिम्मेदारी। उसके अलावा और मैं क्या सोचता हूं, वो लिखा है कि जब जुल्म सहना मुश्किल हो तो जालिम को मिटाना बेहतर। जब जुल्म सहना मुश्किल हो तो जालिम को मिटाना बेहतर। जब हालात हद को छू जाए तो हद को गुजर जाना बेहतर। जब शराफत से काम न चल सके तो ताकत दिखाना बेहतर। जो वक्त पर काम आ जाए अपनों से बेगाना बेहतर। जो वक्त पर काम आ जाए अपनों से बेगाना बेहतर। उसके अलावा मैं अगेन उन लोगों को जो नफरत फैलाते हैं, दहशत गर्दी फैलाते हैं, उनको मैं चेतावनी नहीं देना चाहता, मैं उनको धमकी देना चाहता हूं। ये मेरी धमकी है कि मेरी शराफत पर मत जाओ, मेरी ताकत से घबराओ। मैंने 3 लड़ाइयां लड़ी हैं फौज में रहते हुए, और लकीली तीनों को तीनों ही हमारी आर्मी ने जीती हैं। कि मेरी शराफत पर मत जाओ, मेरी ताकत से घबराओ, कि जब हम ताकत दिखाएंगे तुम्हारे होश उड़ जाएंगे, तब हम भी न रुक पाएंगे, अपनी हद से गुजर जाएंगे। इसलिए आंखें दिखाना छोड़ दो। है नफरत फैलाने वाले, आंखें दिखाना छोड़ दो, यूं बौखलाना छोड़ दो। हम कवि हैं। हम कौन हैं? हम कवि हैं, गीतकार हैं, कलाकार हैं, साहित्यकार हैं। हम सब कवि हैं, गीतकार हैं, कलाकार हैं, साहित्यकार हैं। कि जब इस विषय पर हमारी कलम बोलेगी, जब इस विषय पर हमारी सबकी कलम बोलेगी, तूफान में तब तुम्हारी कश्ती डोलेगी। तूफान में तब तुम्हारी कश्ती डोलेगी। तुम्हारा नामो निशान तो क्या है, पूरी हस्ती मिल जाएगी। इसलिए दहशतगर्दी छोड़ दो, अमर और प्यार अपनाओ, औरों को जीने दो और खुद भी जी पाओ। अगर ये हाल रहा तो आप खुद भी जी नहीं पाएंगे। तो इस करके दहशतगर्दी छोड़ दो और अमन और प्यार को अपनाओ, औरों को जीने दो और खुद भी जी पाओ। यही मेरी अर्ज है कि उनको छोटी पोएम आज सुनानी थी। नमस्कार, आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
छोटे पोएम में बहुत बड़ी बात कह डाली सर आप, बहुत खूब, वेरी एम्पावरिंग and very, I mean, it's like, yeah, motivating to threatening, yeah, inspiring as always. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Lt.Col.Gopal Pudhani. Yes, ma'am. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, our engineer, a very well-known artist, Spisak.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. I will read a nice short piece, a tribute to the fellow poets that are here. It's always a vivifying, energizing moment to sit with you poets. Here we go. When I among brave poets sit. When I among brave poets sit, I know the very soul of wit. When among such souls as these I dare to sing, I know what joy the farmer to his harvest brings. When gathering with such as these I proclaim, I know the heart of truth by name. Among these souls the song of truth is common, not rare, like along the avenues of commerce phenomena. The bold, or say the trembling truth, among these poets speak boldly, bright with youth. From all these poets wilt thou hear the special truth, so bold and dear, a brilliant revelation of the self, or the trembling gambol of a merry elf. As each rich mind hath gathered forth to pray their wild metaphors for all their worth today, darting smiles might thou find, some in reverse rich from heavy laden wisdom's vine. I'm always charmed by these melodies rising, whether deep in love or through the delicate disguising. From many lands and many climes a million accents wilt thou find, but always with the voice of love fulfills the very voice of God above. I am nurtured in such company sublime. May I ever in such sweet Olympian banquets solace find. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. That was short and sweet. Very thoughtful. That was Rick. Please give it up for Rick. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, of course, flavor of the soil. Please welcome Sreedharan Parokode.
Am I audible, Ji? Audible? Yeah. It's a very short poem. From the One. The poem is titled as From the One. Don't laugh at them, please. Don't laugh at them, please. The same hands made us all. The same hands made us all. Don't curse them, at least. The words used are not made by us. Don't curse them, at least. The words used are not made by us. Don't find fault with the weaker. Don't find fault with the weaker. They are the creation of the One, the Supreme. Don't find. Thank you.
That's sweet, as always, short and verses with a brilliant, meaning. That was Sreedharan. Please give a round of applause. Next up is a scholar from Poetry Society of India. Please welcome Radha Chakravarty.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. I will read from my newly published collection, Subliminal, which has just been published by Hawakal, and it's published in India but available in UK, USA, Australia, Germany, and Canada. And I think in view of what is going on in other parts of the world and the violence that we are seeing, I will read a poem that I wrote some years ago, but I think it still resonates with some of the things we feel now. It's called Borderlines.
Yeah.
Borderlines. The sky weeps salt tears upon the barbed wire fence that cuts through fields that once ran free to the far tree line at the horizon's edge. Upon those fields of free desire, the clouds once showered bliss. The wind blew wild across the mind's expanse. The thirsty earth drank in the rain and grew green and lush with love. Now, barbed wire cuts the land in two, splicing lives and loves, tearing memories into shreds of pain. Where grass once grew, hate has taken root, the green earth stained red with rage and blood. Beyond the border, in the sky, there is no barbed wire, just an overarching sadness at the land's bondage to a line. This monsoon, clouds hang dark and low. The wind prowls the land. Lightning rips the sky asunder, and the thunder growls to signal the coming of a storm to end all storms. Thank you.
Brilliant uses of words, ma'am. I would appreciate your reading. So beautiful, profound, I would say. And congratulations on your new book.
Thank you.
Please share your link, in the chat so that others could and have a glimpse of it. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is joining us first time, Vizila Tangamalar, Dr. M. Vizila Tangamalar. Please give a round of applause.
Sorry. Audible. Can you hear me?
Ma'am, your voice is cracking. Maybe it just you could remove the headphone or something, or could just
So, okay.
maybe you could turn off the video, ma'am.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, but it's cracking. Could you turn off your video so that it could be audible?
Now my audio is there and
It's still, ma'am. It's still couldn't, Maybe just could just you do one thing, just log out and log in, and maybe I could get back to you. Meanwhile, I could call up on some other poet. So let's call upon Gargi Shah. Gargi Saha, a regular participant and consistent player. Please welcome Gargi Saha. Gargi Saha, yes.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for inviting me in this platform. Greetings to all poets. My poem is entitled today, Sea. Babbling on its own, rising, colliding, rolling, tossing, unfettered, unyoked, jovial, jubilant, meticulous metal, undisturbed, unlamented, unsettled, a rum mystic, magnificent, magnanimous monarch, makes feel euphoric, ecstatic, ethereal, and seems traceable, the unraveled destiny beyond the shore, but it remains in vain, an implausible bliss, unattainable by the mundane chores of humdrum showcased life and caged apartments. Everything seems too fenced, bounded, and here awaits a vast white space of unconquerable territory. So piffling appears only a man swimming in a ginormous universe. Thank you.
Sublime and thoughtful, as always. The philosophical. Thank you. That was Gargi Saha. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Let's welcome our next poet. Our next poet is again Muskan Chettri. Muskan, please turn on your mic. Muskan. Yes. Yes, go ahead, Muskan. Go ahead, Muskan.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So the poem goes like Reasons Unknown. This is the theme of the poem and the title of the poem. So, for reasons unknown, I kept staring at the horizon, but that gave me satisfaction. For reasons unknown, I kept walking around the sea, but that gave me peace. For reasons unknown, I let myself soak in rain, but that gave me joy. Sometimes in life, let reasons not define your happiness. I am the warrior, I am the slave, I am the
Yes, Muskan, go ahead. Muskan, are you there? Yeah, please.
what's going on there?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. It's like reasons unknown. For reasons unknown, I kept staring at the horizon, but that gave me satisfaction. For reasons unknown, I kept walking around the sea, but that gave me peace. For reasons unknown, I let myself soak in rain, but that gave me joy. Sometimes in life, let reasons not define your happiness. I'm the warrior, I'm the slave, I'm the victim, and I'm the culprit. For reasons unknown, I let myself be both. Thank you.
Wow, splendid. For reasons unknown, you're everything. Wonderful. That was Muskan. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, it's very inspiring lady. Please welcome Manju. I'm not getting your name. Manju Chauhan. Meena Chauhan.
Yes, Meena Chauhan. बहुत दिन हो गए प्रसन्ना मिले हुए. So you forgot my name.
No, it is not like that, ma'am. I'm just,
So बहुत दिनों से मैं 2-3 हफ्ते से आई नहीं और अभी भी मैं अमेरिका में हूँ. अभी सुबह के 5:30 बज रहे हैं, 6 बज रहा है. So आज मैं अभी थैंक्स गिविंग अभी खत्म हुआ है यहाँ, तो मैंने उस पर एक छोटी सी कविता लिखी है बट हिंदी में. So अभी आई एम गोइंग टू रीड नाउ. प्रकृति को धन्यवाद, प्रकृति को धन्यवाद, प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद. इतना सब देने के लिए, तरह तरह की चीजों को सिखाने के लिए, सूरज जैसी रोशनी देने के लिए. कहीं सूरज एक कोने में छुपता है, दूसरे कोने से निकलकर चौंका देता है. प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद. कभी सूरज की रोशनी में जग रोशन होता है, तो कभी चांद जैसे उज्ज्वला देते हैं. अंधियारी रातों में चांद तारे टिमटिमाते हैं. प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद. इतने हरे भरे पेड़ों के लिए, पेड़ों में मीठे फलों के लिए, तरह तरह के पक्षियों के लिए, पक्षियों के मधुर आवाज के लिए प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद। प्रकृति की लीला न्यारी है, कहीं उफनता समुद्र है तो कहीं शांत सरोवर, कहीं बहती नदियों का कलरव तो कहीं हिम से भरा पर्वत। फूलों को कई रंगों से सजाया, उन्हीं रंगों को लेकर मानव ने अपने को सजाया। प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद। इस दुनिया को आपने बहुत खूबसूरत बनाया, मानव को सबसे श्रेष्ठ बनाया। क्या अच्छा क्या बुरा सब सिखाया। दुनिया की बनाई सभी चीजों को आपको दुनिया की बनाई सभी चीजों को मानव इसका उपयोग करे, आपको कोई एतराज नहीं। लेकिन मानव आपकी सीमाओं को तोड़कर आपको मंजूर नहीं। जब जब मानव उदंडता करता है, प्रकृति चेतावनी देती है। जब जब मानव उदंडता करता है, प्रकृति चेतावनी देती है। चेतावनी को नजरअंदाज की जाती है, तब तब सजा देती है। चेतावनी को नजरअंदाज की जाती है, तब तब सजा देती है। मानव प्रकृति के अनुसार चलें, यही मानव के लिए हित में है। पर प्रकृति का सम्मान करें, यही हमारे लिए हित में है। प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद। प्रकृति आपको धन्यवाद।
Perfect, man. Perfect. Thank you. A single poem today for it's for
Yeah.
this thing. Yes, the nature of the nature has to be understood by all.
Yeah, थोड़ा सा आप समझा दो इंग्लिश में तो मैंने
It's all about the nature of the nature, so you cannot mess with the nature. You
we are getting everything.
Nature. Thank you, ma'am. That was Meena, ma'am, talking about the nature. So please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is ready now. I'd like to see Miss Vizi La Tanga Malar, ma'am, will be ready for the poem. Welcome, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sir?
Again,
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Salutations, brown horizons. I'm Dr. Vijla. I'm from Tamil Nadu of Mari.
Vijay, you remove the headphone, Vijay.
Madam, you could just turn off your video so that you could get.
Yeah, remove the headphones and switch off your video. Maybe you will get that.
So I got it. Yes.
No, Vijay. We can't hear you.
So can you hear me?
No, da, it's cracking. You remove the headphone and maybe switch off your video. Yeah, remove the headphone and sometimes you may.
Okay, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Little, but still I think okay.
Can you hear?
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So my name is Order Rhyme Mover. So a mother's struggle. So a series of mystery sliced in the ocean. Similarly, the progression of this web, mellow with professionalism, innocent, charming in her action, active in her duty, supportive to her peers, improving little in cooking, responsibilities after delivery, shapeless, dedicated to lead a family. So devoted to ethical belief, strange to devious deeds. far from an egotistical move, showers the mother. So this is a short poem. Thank you.
Beautiful, ma'am. Beautiful. Please keep coming. And yes, some words we couldn't able to hear that, but yes, it is so beautiful. And yes, please keep coming. And every week we'll have. It will be inspiring to hear. Next time we would, hear clearly your voice and your face. I could watch. That was Viji Tangamalar, ma'am. Please give a round of applause. Thanks for joining and thanks for introducing the ma'am. Dr. Janatha ma'am introduced us to Vizila. So thank you, ma'am. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, RezaUddin Stalin, who is a very famous poet in Bangladesh, from Bangladesh. Please welcome him.
Thank you, brother. Prasanna, how are you? I also got your poem and bio photo. It will be published soon. We have trying to new magazine for new magazine shop, and I think that within 7 days it will be published. And first issue I want to publish your poem. The title of my poem, The Art. No, I want something more. Some will full cool water, as much alive as the kissy lips. I desire to go far off, drafted by a banana raft. I know neither Behula nor Lokhindar there. I know neither Behula nor Lakhindar there. We have to go by walking on the breast of the Ganges. Juggler, Lilliputian, love bugs all around. Don't be afraid. I am green and you are blue. You know, while all the leaves are solid yellow, the flow of river water is stubborn black. Is the color of your eyes darker than these? I don't dab Kohi at hand sinew. I too many arts in the way of the Ganges, in the dark and light and curiosity of infinity. My fingers are tied in your bluesy thing. No, I want some endless days, discreting from the loom of your eye link, as much futureless and antique art. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for coming. That was brilliant. That was beautiful. One line I missed there. No, I think mean deer or what is it? Can you repeat that line? I couldn't get that word. Mean something. It's line. It's like it might be sixth line from the ending.
I off it, but I want to tell that no, there is no Lakhindar, no Behula, and no Ganges and no river, but we have to reach to love by walk, by foot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was RezaUddin Stalin. Please give a round of applause, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming, sir. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is a little kid. Please give a round of applause. She's joining us for the first time. Please inspire this kid, and she's maybe 4th or 7th, she would tell herself. Lakshita Mundhra.
Okay.
Lakshita Mundhra. Please introduce yourself, Lakshita, and begin your poem.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lakshita Mundhra. I study in class 7. My my poem is quite short. The name of the poem is Eating My Emotions. So I'll start now. Nobody knows if I'm angry or sad. Everyone thinks that the smile I wear is good and not bad. Only if they knew my true intentions, that I'm actually eating my emotions. That's all.
Wow, so sweet. Lakshita, could you tell about that poem? How you inspired? How do you write it? And what inspired you to write that?
I was facing quite problems with my studies. Like I had quite a lot of stress, and I was trying to cope up with everything. And then I just poured my feelings into this small poem.
Great.
That's all.
Keep writing and keep inspiring, and you inspire us too, So tell me about yourself, which school you're from and where you're from, and
I'm from Assam, Guwahati. I study in Salabilla.
Great. And you've been introduced by Sneha Goel, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. She's my tutor. She
Good.
taught me how to write poems.
Wonderful. And keep coming, Lakshita. We wanted to hear more from you. Okay, please. We could bring in your friends too. That was Lakshita. Please give a round of applause for her. Stay on, Lakshita. We have beautiful points. You could listen to them and you could just learn to them. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Next up is, yes, our Acharya. Please welcome. He requests no introduction. Land and career.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my Baiji. I like the inspirational touch for our dear young Lakshita. Welcome here, my friend, my Didiji. The art of kindness, good deeds. Kindness is an unspoken thought channeled from a mother's heart. It is the joy she feels within whenever her newborn baby is seen. It is the glee of the soul embracing the infant's tiny frame, reflecting a delicate touch just as much as the heart's blankets, enhances the warmth of the homeless on cold, dreary, wintry nights that howl like wolves. Kindness is synonymous with warmth. Is it the tender smile that soothes her fright, or the throb within from the heron's flight? My heart glows from compliments of integrity, whether it comes from C.P. May's The Jedi Knight, Prasanna, or elemental's praise of my eloquent height in poetry. Kindness begins within in seed form, manifests without for the joy of the soul and the good of others. It distances itself from analytical minds and the grandiose ideas of dissecting egos. It is neither the charity nor philanthropy that publicizes its help to Africa. It is the silent stream within, exemplifying good deeds unseen. Humanity is nothing but a manifestation of cosmic energy. And if we are all sparks of love, then who is helping whom? Africa needs our heart sunrise infinitely more than she needs our sunset help. And in offering this jewel to her in soulful service, everything else will follow. I am grateful to those I serve, for they are giving me an opportunity to cultivate my inner virtues. Receptivity is essential to grace, which flows from the heartfelt deeds that come only from a warm place within. Is it a twinkle from my brow? I saw the dazzle in her eyes as she laughed just now. The very nature of kindness is to spread, says the visionary seer Sri Chinmoy. If you are kind to others, today they will be kind to you, and tomorrow to somebody else. You and I create the world by the vibrations we transmit. I see warmth and compassion in the prophet's eyes, his inward gaze to heaven, his silent smiles and gentle streams of blessings. The warmth of my mother's kindness and dauntless soul oozed the last ounce of sacrifice on my behalf. I bear witness to an unmarried teenager's concern and fortitude, saw at first hand her vivacious strands of beauty, her soul playing melodies like lutes. She personified generosity to the fullest, left behind a legacy poor in finances, but rich from the merits of paradise. Love gave her the wisdom to know the right side up in this beautiful yet topsy-turvy world. She knew instinctively that sacrifice was the foundation of enduring love. Flowers too have their stories to tell, and for those who do not believe, then speak in the heart of stillness to a bride and groom on their wedding day. For love is a continuous flow, as the divine puppeteer, the string and the puppets are one, just as light is concealed in the dark face of shadows. Kindness comes with honesty. If I am sincere when my energies enter another's heart, then memories will not tussle or be bitter to endure, but instead they will be full of warmth. Look at the sun and moon, how they nourish and give solace to Mother Gaia. They know intuitively that in giving lies a joy called receiving, mutual to the harmonious oneness of all parties concerned. O warmth, O kindness, entangle me in your stream of love, so that the shooting stars dance into the warmth of all my summers, and grant me peace. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
The continuous stream of love. Yeah, you even featured my name in your right. Yeah, I still wonder if deserving.
Shukriya, my Baiji.
I must say shukriya to you, for having, my name in it. And I thank Richard, for pouring out his words, and
Indeed.
the other days. That was Lantern, Manatita. Thanks, Lanterns. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Yes. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is a historian and is a humanist. So is always concerned for humanity. Please welcome Christopher T. George. Christopher. Christopher, please turn on your mic and audio. Christopher. Christopher is not there. So please welcome our next poet. Yes. Janatha ma'am is, been missing for a long time. Please welcome, effervescent, lively Prabha Shastri ma'am.
Good evening to everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Your name is Namaste. Namaste. My poem name is Bratakali. Adigo, Ade Annam Punnameragani Dinastiti. Adigo, Ade Annam Punnameragani Dinastiti. Singari Chinnari Amaiku Andam Enta Bagundi. Singari Chinnari Amaiku Andam Enta Bagundi. Chimpiri Juttu. చిరిగిన బట్టల నడుమ స్వచ్ఛమైన నవ్వది. పేదతను అందం, చందం, తృప్తి నిండిన ఆశావాదం. ఎంతో అందం, చందం, తృప్తి నిండిన ఆశావాదం. పేదతను నిండిన తెల్లని ముత్యాలు పొదిగిన నవ్వులవి. అయినా ఎదలో ఎన్నో కష్టాలు దాచిన అల్లరది. పేదరికంలో అరిగిపోని వెలుగుల జ్యోతి అది. అది గొప్పాళ్ల గుండెలకు తాకి కాలం మారాలన్న ప్రయత్నం ఇది. అది గొప్పాళ్ల గుండెలకు తాకి కాలం మారాలన్న ప్రయత్నం ఇది. పైగా కల ఎత్తి రాస్తున్న వేదన ఇది. ఆకలి, నిద్ర, సుఖం ఎరుగని నిండుతనమది. ఆకలి నిద్ర సుఖం ఎరగని నిండుతనమిది. కార్చే కన్నీళ్లు త్రాగి ఆకలి దప్పులో ఆపుకుంది. తొణకని అబలకున్న ధైర్యమది. తొణకని అబలి ఉన్న ధైర్యమది. తప్పదు మరి నిరుపేదలకు తీరని తీపి బాధలు. కష్టాల కడలిలో చిగురించే లేలేతాకుల పసితనమది. కష్టాల కడలిలో చిగురించే లేలేతాకుల పసితనమిది. అర్థం చేసుకునే దాతలు నేతలు లేని అలల సవ్వడిది. గట్టిపడిన మీ హృదయాలను మంచులా కరిగించండి. అందరూ గర్వించే సాధనాలు చేపట్టండి. అది లేని ఎడల ఎందుకయ్యా మీకు ఆ పట్టాలు పదవులు చెప్పండి. కొందరికి పొట్ట నింపేది మరికొందరికి పస్తులు పెట్టేది కాదండి. కొందరికి పొట్ట నింపేది మరికొందరికి పస్తులు పెట్టేది కాదండి. మీరే న్యాయాధీశులు అనుకుని తీర్పు చెప్పండి. అప్పుడే మీరు త్రివర్ణ పతాకం ఎగురవేయండి. ఏమంటారు? అవునా? అప్పుడే మీరు త్రివర్ణ పతాకం ఎగురవేయండి. Namaste.
Oh my God. Such a question. I mean, I cannot translate it literally, but can just this thing. She is asking the questions, with the lawmakers and the government. What if you are assuming the positions of authority when you are not, feeding the, able to feed the poor or, fulfilling the needs of hunger, those who are suffering from hungry and it's like, the destitutes and all. So that's a brilliant poem I was listening to, but hats off, beautiful, excellent.
Thank you, Prasanna.
Very powerful.
Yeah, I want to say something, Prasanna, may I?
Please.
I mean, Prabha Shastri is my favorite poet. You don't have to understand language, There's something, the way she communicates, she's saying something very important and something she's saying it with a lot of satire. And I hope I'm right. And language, it goes beyond language. It's an amazing person, amazing poet. Thank you so much. You must keep coming all the time.
Thank you, Roopali.
Exactly,
Thank you.
ma'am. I was just wondering, is just, she was having the chuckle and yet she is continuing with the, kind of pressing questions. And that's the kind of beauty in reading also. It's not straight yet, it is very sharp. It's going straight through the heart. It was so wonderful. Janatha ma'am loves you, Prabha Amma. So Janatha ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
Happy to see you, ma.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Yes.
So that was Prabha Amma. So please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, ma'am. Vijay ma'am, we also have the regional language, all languages we read here. So you could next time present the Tamil poem that is written by you or any others. So that would be great. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is a wonderful singer and a writer, whatnot. She is very dynamic. Please welcome Jaya Kalyanaraman.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for your very generous description of me, Prasanna Kumar. I don't know if I'm deserving of it, but thank you so much. I'm going to read a poem that I wrote a couple of days ago. This is based on a story I heard when I was a very little girl. So here goes. Something like near 70 years, I heard a story that lingered in my mind and in my soul. A world map was torn asunder for a boy to piece together so his father could be free to focus on work undisturbed. Before long, the boy was done, leaving his father amazed at how one of age so tender could fix a puzzle straight. On the other side, dear father, was the picture of a man. When I put all of him together, it set the world to rights. That's it.
Wow, well, as I said, it was never disappointing what I introduced. You
It is
perfectly did
about
that.
a little boy who was disturbing his father, and his father tore up a world map and gave the pieces to the little boy and said, "Come on now, you work on this." Why, this jigsaw puzzle. And the boy was done in a jiffy. So the father asked him, "How did you manage that?" And the boy said, "While you were tearing, I saw that on the other side was a picture of a man. I put the man together and it set the world right."
Wow.
This is the story my principal told us in assembly way back in 1967. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very much. Thank you for the enlightening, with that poem. So
I've only put it in poetry form. The story belongs to somebody else from way back when. But like I said, it has stayed in my mind.
Good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for presenting. That was Jaya Kalyanaraman. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is Dominic Windram, who is a very beautiful poet, and he writes short verses yet powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's first poem I'd like to read is called "Or Poetry," and it's a kind of self-reflexive postmodernist piece. Or poetry seems to move by itself. Its fresh words gather no moss. The writer loses control of his stroke her work as soon as it's completed. Or poetry is a free and flexible force. It takes on a life of its own, regardless of the original intentions of its authors. Its meanings cannot be fixed to any place or time, or reduced by cold psychoanalysis. It's enigmatic and seems to slip like sand through our fingers the more we try to grasp it. That's why poetry often elicits myriad types of responses. It can expand our consciousness. It shifts our focus from accustomed perspectives. Poetry is like ever-changing flows of light. Thank you. That's the first one.
Yeah, first only one.
Only one.
Yes, today for
Only
today. Yeah. Thank you. You said all about poetry. That was so beautiful. So just in the beginning, we were talking about the poetry and all. Why do we write poetry, or whether it's for us, whether it's for others, whether it's deriving contentment, whether it's divided for appreciation, whatever it is. But yes, poetry. Thank you. Next is, yes, of course, Dr. Janatha Ramanathan, who is a beautiful writer. He writes in Tamil, Malayalam, English. He is a PhD. He guides PhD students. So please welcome Dr. Janatha Ramanathan.
Good evening. Thank you, Prasannaji. Good evening, my dear friends. I'm happy to see all of you. And as it is today, it is Kartigai festival, and I wrote a very small poem about Kartigai Deepam, very small one. A festival of lights, a glimmering sight throughout the nights. Lamps and diyas illuminate every corner, bringing joy and happiness like a warm hug in winter. The aroma of sweets and savories fill the air as friends and family come together to share stories and laughter, love and blessings, creating cherished memories, bright and beautiful. Let your light shine forever bountiful. May the festive spirit fill our hearts every year and light up every soul far and near. Thank you. Thank
Taken at the Diwali Festival of Lights, maybe. Full
you.
moonlight.
Today Kartike Deepam.
Kartika Deepam. I have one poem for this thing. Please welcome our next poet. Before our next poet, our mentor, but before that, please give a round of applause to Dr. Janatha Ramanathan, ma'am, who presented a poem, Full Moon, Kartika Purnami, which is called in the almanac. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, ma'am. Thanks for introducing, your poets of your choice. Thank you.
My other students were caught up with net exam. 6th, they are having net exam. So they are preparing that. After that, they'll be joining.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Busy, ma'am. You could present your poem next week in Tamil, okay? You can, yeah, you can call me Prasanna. I'm no Sara, no madam. So you could just call me Prasanna. So next up is our mentor. Yes, I have no words, man. She is my motherly, sisterly, auntie, everything. So Dr. Roopali Sircar.
Thank you so much. You've done something for me. You busted gender completely. I'm father, mother, brother, sister, everything. And that is the best thing that can happen to me. And thank you so much. I've been traveling and I was missing home. I'm back home, but I didn't realize home was fertile brains, that I should come back and that I should actually want to be here. I missed meeting Jaya in Bangalore, but today I'm going to read a poem. For those who are not from India, we have certain careers or jobs that women don't do. One of them is a barber. Somebody who shaves and cuts hair. Women don't do this, but this is the story, a real story on which I based it. And this is story. It's called The Barber's Daughters. So it may be a bit long. I don't know, but I'm going to read it. Okay, The Barber's Daughters. Banwari Lal Barber set up the old blue rickety chair he got from a salon in Sakoti Tanda. He had paid rupees 20 for it. His father, Kanchi Lal, died sitting on his haunches on the pavement shaving people's faces. He set it up near the Shiva temple. So many people came to pray and stopped at Banwari's one chair salon under the sprawling banyan tree. Raju, washerman's son Poltu, also set up a tea stall on a table, and the customers enjoyed a cup of sweet tea and a haircut and a shave. Like an expert tabla player, Banwari Lal tapped their heads with mustard oil. Some fell asleep midway while he talked. Banwari loved his two children but mourned the absence of sons. He knew his daughters, Soni and Moni, were clever. They went to government school where teachers praised them. But what use was that to him? On the way back from school, they would stop by and watch intently as he cut and shaved. He often shared his angst with his customers. His dream of a shop called Banwari Lal and Son would die with him. Though he had no sons, would die with him. Every time he got drunk, he screamed at his daughters. Then one day, Banwari Lal spat blood. Soon he was in a sanatorium. That is when Soni and Moni decided to continue their father's work. The only way to save him was to run the trade. Sheila teacher often spoke of women breaking their own shackles. The news shocked the village, and their mother, Radha Devi, beat her breast and wailed, but the sisters were determined. Sheila teacher made the village heads nod in approval. A progressive village will bring in funds. Moni and Soni carried forward their family barber profession forbidden to women. A cub reporter published their story, and the head of the Women's Empowerment Department turned up. With a subsidy from the government, Moni and Soni bought a shop and set up new mirrors and chairs and salon apparatus. The day dawned when Banwari Lal cut the red ribbon and walked proudly into the salon. The whole village had collected. A welcome awaited him, a shave and a haircut by his daughters Soni and Moni. So they had broken the stereotype. A welcome awaited him, a shave and a haircut by his daughters Soni and Moni. Written on a large blue signpost were the words, Banwari Lal and daughters. His dream of Banwari Lal and son, now it is Banwari Lal and daughters. The applause was deafening. The whole village clapped, and these two children, these two young women, they have become very famous. They are also in advertisements that have talked about women changing and the world changing and villages changing. So this is the changing face of India. Thank you so much.
Indeed, a light in beginning. Very inspiring. And we see the changing of the roles and assuming of the new roles. So we need to welcome, and the world is welcoming in them. No doubt, there is some oddity or protest is happening, but that's different kind of story. But this development too is happening. This is a kind of story that is, that we come across, but it is in the poetic form and the kind of storytelling. That's a wonderful thing to be knowing that.
Well, thank you, Prasanna, because you not only give us a voice, but you also give us a voice that other people can hear and listen to. I think that's so important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Without you, all it wouldn't happen. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is Christopher, but his mate is not responding. Please welcome our next poet, Maria.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy to be with you once more. My poem is a small poem, and it's based on balance. We shall keep equilibrium in all we do. The title of my poem is Let Balance Drive You. I told you it's not right. You shouldn't do it. A stubborn man you be. You listen to no one. You told me it's not wrong. We shall go and play the game. Life is brief, friend. Don't see obstacles anywhere. Everything in excess is dangerous. Midterm and balance a man deserves. Neither stubborn nor bold. Optimism in excess, frustration always surrounding home. Pessimism in excess, not a goal finds either. Look at life with the eyes of a dreamer, though keeping the eyes open, it's a need if you want to succeed. This is my poem. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. May I recite another one or no? Just one.
No.
It's a short.
Not at all. Thank you. Not at all. Thank you. We love to have you. And yes, we love you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
That was Maria. Please give a round of applause, my dear friends. Maria, thanks for coming, and we love you always. Thank you. Up next,
thank you very much.
One and only poet left, and she is, quite inspiring herself, and she is. She has arranged a meet for this like a Children's Day, and with bringing this kids on the platform, and she inspires. She I know, has this story of herself, building, writing, making the children write poetry, stories and all. And she, please welcome Sneha Goel.
Thank you, Prasanna, for such a good introduction. And yeah, today is Dev Diwali. I too went to temple and lit diyas over there. But since morning, something has been in my mind which has not let me write a poem that I was supposed to write for the 10-day challenge that you gave me. So instead, I took the time to write about that topic, which had been disturbing me. So it's for Pranshu. Pranshu, an ambitious child, as bright as the sunshine, an influence warming the onlooker. Yes, he was special who dared to dream to be a makeup artist, took on Instagram to share his journey, realizing his purpose, which I found at the age of 38 and many don't even find for lifetime. The trolls could not bear his passion getting attention while they lived mediocre life, and his one is fulfilled. Ah, these haters of talent. No one explained him. It was not his identity, it was his achievement that incited their ego to resort to hate comments, which depressed this 16-year-old who fought for 10 long days. Then he gave up and got mass murdered by this horde of incompetent, insecure people. Should they be punished? For mob lynching, it was a planned murder by insensitive, cruel, soulless creatures who fired bullets in their comment boxes. Thank you. Thank you. This was my poem, Prasanna. You are on mute, Prasanna.
Yeah, that was thought-provoking, and yes, mob lynching, taking of the law in their hands, people,
No, it's actually cyberbullying that he faced, and he posted his post wearing a sari. He is a queer 16-year-old child who does makeup videos, and he has many followers on Instagram. But when he posted his Diwali picture in which he was wearing a sari on 12th November, he started getting so many hate comments that he stopped posting at all after that. There were about 4,000 hate comments, and which made him take his life on 21st of November. So I get to know this story today, and it was really disturbing that how people are being so insensitive to even child. He's a child who could not handle this cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, yes, ma'am.
Yes, the kind of comment, like they were in Hindi, maybe because the Instagram could not decode the comments. That is why they did not put a ban on it. But the kind of comment, if we read them, they're really disturbing for even us. And he is just 16 years. Imagining that what he went through, it's like heartbreaking.
That is something very disturbing, the people mindset, taking the liberty of whatever they could just, think. This many things are happening, especially when it comes to the social media. People go on blah blah, saying, whatever they feel like, mind. And there should be a kind of, legislation or what I call it. If you could witness, the age about deep fake videos, and these things are coming up, and this is very a matter of concern, and this for the government as well, the public, just think about the common citizens.
Yeah, yes.
So
They're not LGBTQ community is coming up, but Instagram is not taking their post. Like they are coming up with justice for Pranshu, but that hashtag has been like it. They have stopped it. They don't allow it anymore.
Yes, that is something we need to, maybe this platform we could just talk about, but we cannot just take a higher level of, the talks that, to have to deliberations that has to be happened. Christopher, are you there? Yeah, please. Yes, ma'am, please.
I wanted to thank Sneha for reading a poem about this child, and it was very shocking that he took his life. But it's very important for us, to bring these stories to the forefront. And I'm glad that you did that, Sneha. I know your complete commitment to children and to teaching them and making them learn. It's so important. It's so cruel that we should not only make differences about sex and gender and race and color and heaven knows what all. I don't think we're the finest creatures made by God.
Sometimes it requires the gumption of putting across your views and penning down and so that you could watch and that I mean so it really reaches for and some people they read out and they could ponder over it. So that is something very challenging, very it requires a lot of courage sometimes, kind of thing. I appreciate. Please give a round of applause to Miss Sneha Goel. Yes, that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for cooperation and with your poem, and just I could manage to have this togetherness with your these things.
Thank you, Prasanna. You're presenting a very sublime and lofty platform. I hope you stay well and be blessed by Sri Krishna, Sri Ram, and the spirit light of the valley, so that you can continue this noble effort.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm just trying to, yes, sir. Let's try to, read this short piece. In the mean world, you became meaning of love, showering every drop of amor. Honey of dew never tasted that sweet. With touch of your lips, it turns sugary. The sun was too hot, but with your look, it calmed to be cool. Crescent moon becomes full with its effulgence. Now what was once in a blue moon makes repeatedly its presence. Felt to have a glance, you are a marvel, of course, that universe shine in your dazzling silhouette. Thank you. That was some light one. Thank you. Thanks for
That was beautiful. Thank you, Prasanna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.